Welcome to another deep dive, everyone. This time, we're going to tackle the multiverse, but not the typical sci-fi stuff you see in the movies.
Right.
We're talking real science, the actual theories.
The cutting edge.
Exactly. And then we'll look at how let's call them a group, the Fane of Yog-Sothoth, uses those theories in their I guess you could say belief system.
That's a good way to put it.
So our material for today is, kind of all over the place. We've got some excerpts from a real scientific paper on multiverse theories. Then we have, hold on, what's it called again?
The Threads Beyond the Veil. It's a short story.
Right. And last, we have a sermon, a real sermon from this Fane group. It's called The Wisdom of the Multiverse, something like that.
The Wisdom of the Multiverse, Embracing Infinite Perspectives. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's it. So that's our starting point.
And it's a really interesting mix because, we're not just dealing with, abstract concepts.
Right.
We're looking at how this group, fictional or not, is actually taking these ideas and, interpreting them, applying them. It's pretty unique.
Yeah, totally. So where do we even begin?
Well, to understand the Fane's take, we got to lay the groundwork, right?
Yes, the science.
Exactly. So we're talking about 4 big theories. The many worlds interpretation, that's MWI for short.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's string theory and the landscape multiverse that comes from that.
Okay.
Then we've got eternal inflation, and this one's a doozy, the holographic principle.
Yeah, some of those sound familiar, from sci-fi.
Oh, absolutely. They've definitely made their way into pop culture. But we're going deeper.
Right into the real science.
Let's start with MWI. It comes from quantum mechanics, the stuff that governs how tiny particles act.
Super tiny.
So imagine you're deciding between coffee or tea in the morning.
Tough choice.
MWI says that for every possible outcome, every choice, a new universe branches off.
Wait, so there's a universe where I had both coffee and tea.
Yeah. One where you spilled your coffee, one where you chose tea but then regretted it.
Whoa. So every choice I make is splitting reality. That's a lot of responsibility.
It's a mind bender, right? And that's what's so fascinating about it. Physicists and philosophers, they've been debating this for ages.
Makes you think differently about that skip button on your alarm.
Exactly. It raises questions about, the butterfly effect, but on a cosmic scale. Are we all connected through these choices?
Whoa. Okay, what about string theory? I always picture, tiny little strings holding everything together. That's
not far off.
Yeah.
String theory is trying to basically unify all the forces of nature, like gravity and electromagnetism.
Yeah.
And it says that everything is made of these tiny vibrating strings. And the landscape multiverse, that comes out of string theory.
So more universes?
Tons of them, each with its own, unique laws of physics.
So a universe where gravity works differently.
Totally. Or maybe the speed of light is slower or time flows backward. The possibilities are literally endless.
My brain hurts. Okay, eternal inflation. Is everything eternal and infinite with this multiverse stuff?
It's a common theme, right? So remember the Big Bang, the universe expanding rapidly from a single point?
Yeah.
Well, eternal inflation says that inflation is still happening, but in certain areas of space. It creates this multiverse foam.
Multiverse foam, what is that?
Think of it imagine a bathtub filled with bubbles. Each bubble is a new universe, constantly being created.
Whoa, that's a wild picture. So it's constantly expanding.
That's the idea. It helps explain some of the weird stuff we see in our own universe.
Okay, last one, the holographic principle.
Brace yourself.
This is the one where, our reality is a projection.
Exactly. It's imagine a movie being projected onto a screen. The movie seems 3D, right? But all the information is actually on that flat 2D screen.
Are you saying we're all living in a giant hologram?
Kind of. The holographic principle suggests that everything we see, everything we experience, is actually encoded on some distant 2D surface.
That's insane. So our brains are just interpreting this 2D information as 3D reality.
It's a mind-blowing idea, right?
Yeah.
And it makes you question what reality even means. It's are we just looking at a shadow play of something much bigger?
Yeah. It's like, how much are we actually seeing, experiencing?
Right. Are we missing the bigger picture? These theories are complex, but they really make you think.
For sure. Okay, so that's the science. Now let's get to this Fane of Yog-Sothoth.
Right. They've taken all this and woven it into their, well, it's a spiritual framework, but it's got this Lovecraftian feel to it.
Lovecraftian.
Like H.P. Lovecraft, the horror writer. So there's this cosmic horror vibe.
Right.
But remember, this is all fictional.
Right, right, of course. But still, how do they take something as chaotic as the multiverse, all those endless possibilities, and find meaning in it? Like, what's their goal?
They see these theories as metaphors, as ways to understand how everything is connected and how vast everything truly is. And they really emphasize adaptability.
Adaptability, like going with the flow.
Yeah. They believe each theory is like a different lens you can use to look at reality, to find a deeper meaning. And they don't shy away from the chaos. They see it as part of a bigger cosmic order.
Wow, that's interesting. So how do they like actually interpret each of these theories? Let's start with the many worlds one, the branching realities.
Okay, so they connect that to this powerful cosmic entity they call Yog-Sothoth. They call it the all-in-one and one-in-all.
That sounds intense.
Right, and they believe that this entity is basically all of reality. Everything is connected through it. So our actions, they create ripples across all those universes. It's interconnected responsibility, they say.
Like cosmic karma?
Kind of. They believe even the smallest choices can have consequences in other realities.
Yeah.
Pretty heavy, huh?
Yeah, it makes you think twice about your action, that's for sure. What about that landscape multiverse, the one with all the different laws of physics? What's their take on that?
Oh, they love that one.
Yeah.
It's all about diversity and adaptability for them, all those different universes. They see it as proof that there's no one right way to exist. And that wisdom comes from being open to new ideas, new ways of doing things.
So it's like a cosmic invitation to embrace all the possibilities, even the ones we can't even imagine.
Exactly. And to learn from all those different perspectives, it's pretty beautiful in a way.
It is. Okay, on to eternal inflation, lots of creation, lots of change. Seems like it would fit with their beliefs.
Oh, it totally does.
Yeah.
They're all about cyclical creation and destruction. Like each new bubble universe, it's a symbol of renewal for them.
So death and rebirth, but on a cosmic scale.
Right. The universe is always renewing itself, giving us new opportunities to grow and change. It's kind of comforting, actually.
Yeah, it is. Okay, last one. The holographic principle. What do they do with that?
That one reinforces their teaching about how limited our human perception is. Like we think we see everything, but we're really just seeing this one tiny layer of a much bigger picture.
So, like, reality is way more complex than we can grasp.
Exactly. And they believe that through things like meditation and spiritual practice, we can start to see beyond those limitations.
So they think there's a whole other reality, a deeper reality, that we can access if we can just expand our awareness.
That's the idea. It's about seeing the connections between everything, the bigger picture.
Right.
It's pretty profound stuff.
Yeah, it is. So we've got these 4 theories, and we've got the Fane's interpretation of them.
And now we're going to get into a story, The Threads Beyond the Veil, remember?
Right, with Nathaniel Hargrave and the infinite loom.
It's a cool story. Really gets into the nitty-gritty of what it might be like to encounter the multiverse, and it ties in directly to the Fane's ideas about connection, compassion, being adaptable.
All right, let's dive into that story then.
So Nathaniel's story, it starts in this, like, rundown manor. It's full of his uncle's stuff, his uncle who passed away.
Okay, spooky old house vibes.
Totally. And hidden away in the attic is this loom, the infinite loom. And there are journals, his uncle's journals. They talk about, like, the loom's powers. Crazy stuff.
Classic mystery setup. So does Nathaniel, like, jump right into weaving realities?
Nah, Nathaniel's a scholar, a researcher. He's skeptical at first, but he's also, like, drawn to this mystery. The loom, the journals, it's all super intriguing. He wants to understand it.
Yes, the power to control other realities. That's got to be tempting.
Right. So one night, there's a storm raging outside. Nathaniel's in the attic, and he decides to, try the loom out.
He goes for it. What happens? Does he get, like, zapped to another dimension?
Not exactly. It's more like he has this overwhelming vision. He sees all these different realities, countless versions of himself, each one living a different life based on different choices.
Whoa. That's got to be mind-blowing, like seeing all the paths not taken.
It's a heavy experience. It makes him realize that every choice matters, that everything's connected. But it gets even weirder. He encounters something. Someone.
This is where the Lovecraftian stuff comes in.
Yeah. It's Yog-Sothoth, the entity that the Fane worships. It's described as this like massive, constantly changing being. Like imagine stars and galaxies swirling inside it. It's beyond human comprehension.
That's both terrifying and amazing. So what does it do? Does it try to stop Nathaniel?
It's not like that. It actually talks to him. It asks him this question. Why do you seek to unravel the threads of the multiverse?
Lead B is like, a challenge. What's Nathaniel's motive?
Nathaniel, he's taken aback, right? But he answers, I seek wisdom.
I seek wisdom.
It sounds sincere, but it also shows how Nathaniel's thinking. Like, he thinks he can control the multiverse to get wisdom.
Control equals understanding. Classic mistake.
And Yog-Sothoth, it responds with this line that's basically the heart of the Fane's teaching. Wisdom lies not in the unraveling, but in the embrace of what is woven.
Wow, it's like saying, stop trying to control everything, just accept it. See the connections.
Exactly. Let go of the need to manipulate reality and see the beauty in how it all fits together. It changes Nathaniel big time.
He gives up on the whole control thing.
He realizes it's pointless. The multiverse is too vast, too complex. He decides to learn by observing, studying, not by trying to change things.
It's humility. It's a good lesson for everyone, really.
Right, even without cosmic entities and magic looms. Nathaniel's story, it's like a parable for the Fane's beliefs. It shows what they value.
Understanding, connection, not domination.
Now let's look at that sermon, The Wisdom of the Multiverse, Embracing Infinite Perspectives. It's got like practical advice on how to live with this multiverse awareness.
Okay, so how to actually apply these ideas to our lives.
It starts with this image. You're a star in a vast cosmos, surrounded by countless other stars, all connected, all shining.
I like that. It's like we're tiny, but we're part of something huge.
And everything's connected, right? We're not just individuals, we're part of this bigger picture. That's the first point. Shift your perspective.
See beyond yourself.
And that leads to the second point. Compassion. Not just for people you know, but for everyone. Everywhere, in every reality.
It's like expanding the golden rule to the whole multiverse. Wow.
Even small acts of kindness matter. They can have ripples we can't even imagine.
It really makes you think about the impacts we can have. It's not just about us, it's about everyone. It's about all those realities out there. And the sermon, it talks about adapting too, right?
Oh yeah, huge emphasis on that. It's like they see the multiverse as this constantly changing thing, always in motion. And they say, be like a surfer. Ride the waves of change. Don't fight against it, Learn to adapt. Keep your values, your goals, but be flexible.
That's a great analogy. It makes it
Okay.
less scary, Like change is inevitable, but we can choose how we ride it out instead of getting wiped out by the waves.
Exactly. It's about resilience, about going with the flow. Clinging to rigid beliefs, that's a recipe for, like, suffering, The multiverse is too wild for that. You got to be open to new things, which leads to the next point, curiosity.
Right. Always be learning, always be open to new possibilities. It's like the multiverse is this huge, unexplored territory. We're just starting to get a glimpse of what's out there.
And the Fane, they're all about that.
Yeah.
Question everything. Challenge your beliefs. That's what they say. Don't be afraid to, see things from a different angle. Embrace the mystery.
It's like replacing fear with a sense of wonder. Be curious. There's so much we don't know.
And that's exciting. It's like every experience, every interaction, it's a chance to learn something new, to expand our awareness.
Okay, so we've got compassion, adaptability, curiosity. What was the last one? The one about actions.
Acting with intention. It's about, realizing that every choice we make has an effect. It's not just about us. It's about potentially countless other realities. It's about, aligning our actions with our values, trying to make a positive impact.
So like thinking about the consequences of our choices, but on a much bigger scale.
Exactly. It's heavy stuff.
Yeah.
It really makes you think about the kind of reality you're creating. Like that question we talked about earlier, remember?
Right. The one about what kind of reality we're choosing to create. Man, that's a lot to ponder.
It is. But that's the challenge, right? The Fane's teachings, they don't just offer an explanation. They offer a way of life, a way to navigate this, this incredibly complex existence.
It's like, yeah, the multiverse is wild, but we're not powerless. We have a role to play. Every choice we make matters.
And if we can all try to make choices that are, kind, compassionate, thoughtful, well, imagine the impact that could have across all those realities.
It's kind of a hopeful thought, right? Like maybe we can actually make a difference, even if we can't see the full picture.
Hope is definitely a big part of it. And, even if we don't fully understand the multiverse, even if it's all just theory, these ideas, they can still change how we live. how we see the world.
Yeah, it's like opening up our minds to new possibilities, to a bigger picture.
And who knows, maybe those possibilities are even more amazing than we can imagine.
Well, folks, that's about it for our deep dive into the multiverse. It's been a wild ride, hasn't it? From the science to the philosophy to this Fane of Yog-Sothoth and their unique perspective.
It's been a fascinating journey. Really makes you think about, well, everything.
We've covered a lot, and I hope you'll keep exploring these ideas. Check out the source material, think about what it all means for you.
Keep asking questions. Keep that sense of wonder alive. The universe is full of mysteries, and that's a beautiful thing.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Until next time, keep your minds open to the infinite possibilities out there.
And may your choices create a reality filled with compassion, wisdom, and, well, just pure awesomeness.